Section 3, which I decided to ask questions about, is cognitive development. So the first question I asked Julianne was, what if the world changed and we only had 4 fingers and we didn't have a thumb anymore? What would you think would happen to the world and why?
Well, the whole world is made for like people to have 5 fingers and especially a thumb. So like things like eating, like that would be just so hard and so difficult. Like it just be like a different world. And even things like also writing, eating, like just normal stuff we do every day, also with like opening doors and stuff, like it'll just all be not possible or not as simple anymore. So I think the world would change if we'd only have 4 fingers. But also I think that just, I mean, if it just be like from the start that we'd only have 4 fingers, then obviously it will all be different. But like if it would change now, like it would be so hard to adopt.
When asking these questions of pre-adolescence, we will expect a completely different response to the one we'll get from adolescents. Pre-adolescents might talk about not being able to do thumbs up anymore or no high fives, whereas adolescents will be able to draw conclusions, really picture the hypothetical situation, analyse its parts, and then draw conclusions from that. From the response that Julianne gives, we can see that she's definitely in the stage of adolescence, which according to Arnett in the textbook, would mean that she's reached formal operations, which is characterised being able to think logically and abstractly about, and you're capable of formulating hypotheses and analysing that hypotheses. So from the way that Julianne responds to this question, it's clear that she can think outside the box and she really thinks about the wide picture of the world without a thumb, which pre-adolescents wouldn't do. So question 2, a hypothetical situation again, but what if there was a man and a woman who were together and the man was consistently overusing drugs and abusing drugs, and the wife says to the man, look, if you do not stop using drugs, we're going to break up, I'm leaving you. And what do you think would happen if one night he went back to the house after being out and came back high? What do you think the woman would do? Do you think she would go to leave him, or what do you think would happen there?
I think it really depends on the situation, like if they're still like in a close relationship or if they've already kind of like splitting up and like moving apart. So I mean, if she means it, like if she really meant what she said, that she would leave if he comes back high ever again, then I think she's gonna leave him and like get a divorce. But if she didn't really mean it and like kind of just try to stop him from taking drugs anymore, then I think she stays with him, but maybe like just warns him that if he's gonna do it again. But I think she has to go through with her like announcement because otherwise he's just gonna do it again. And if she doesn't want him to do it again, then she has to at least like split up or like leave him for a bit. And if he comes back like begging, oh please come back to me, then I think she could try it again. And if he gets high again, then she should definitely leave him, like for good. Not for good, but like, yeah.
The way that Julianne responds to this question actually suggests to me that she might be approaching emerging adulthood, if not already about there, because she responds to this question by saying that there's actually not a clear answer to this problem, which is something called dialectical thought, and where there's an awareness that there's no clear answer to the problem. And we can see here that Julianne is thinking through this problem and coming up with perhaps not a clear answer and ifs and buts to the responding to this question. And this type of thinking, according to the textbook, as said by Besses, is actually what happens at emerging adulthood.
Well, I believe in good in people, so I'm definitely not a fan of death sentence, and I don't think we should use it at all, like ever again. Because I even think that people that have done something wrong, that they, like, some of them might regret it, and some might have not been in the right position, like, in their minds. So I don't think it's fair to, like, as a punishment, like, murder them. So I don't think it's something we should use at all. And like I said, like, I believe in good in people, so I think they can change. Like, deep in their heart, they know. But even if they don't want to, like, be a better person, then they just have to stay in jail until they die. But I don't think, like, just murdering them just because they've done something wrong is a good idea. So I'm not a big fan.
In response to this question, I see that Juliana is using dualistic thinking. According to Arnett 2018, this is when you think about a situation very one-sided, which is a characteristic of adolescence. Jules responds to this question by saying, no, like, we shouldn't use it. I believe in the good in people, and is adamant that it's not right. Whereas someone in emerging adulthood might actually think about the possibilities that there's not a clear answer to this and could argue for both sides.